I'm not going to do my opening now. It's a little too late. All right. Well, welcome everybody that's here in the live chat. Ted Dawson, I see you here, buddy. I'm sorry that you've been waiting for hours. We've just been trying to get things together. But we're here. We're here. So for people that's going to watch this now, later, or whatever, would you guys like to introduce who you are? Ryan, let's start with you.
So, everyone, I'm Brother Ghoulish with good posture today.
Okay. Mark.
And I'm Mark Estes, and I'm just blessed and tipsy.
I hope so. So, Friday night, welcome.
Friday night.
I need to be on your level, bro. Well, we are all here to talk about American Horror Stories, episodes 1 and 2, Rubber Woman, because that's how they spelled it in the thing, Woman. So, guys, what did you all think about the first episode? Let's start from there. Let's start from the first episode, and then we work our way to the second one.
I'll start by just saying I actually kind of dug the first episode. I thought it was pretty cool. And I felt like super excited getting back into the murder house because like that's one of my favorite seasons. Like the first two are like for me like my favorite American Horror Story seasons.
Yes.
I was happy to see Matt Bomer again because I really like him. And then I was happy to see the rubber suit. And I mean, yeah, there was a lot of stuff I did, and I guess we'll like dig into it. But yeah, I was feeling the first episode. I was excited
So far.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark?
I was feeling the first episode up until a certain point, but yeah, it's been over a year since we had new American Horror Story type content.
True.
So when the opening credits came on, and I was twerking in my bed, you know what I'm saying? I was watching it. And I was like, okay, let's do this. I'm here for it. And it was good to see that house again with that music and everything. It was just, we're back. So I enjoyed it to a certain point.
Yeah. Loving your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel the same way as you do. I was waiting, the anticipation for this was heavy, at least for me, just because, like you said, it's been more than a year. Well, almost more than a year that we had American Horror Story. And they mentioned that we was getting American Horror Story. So I said, I wonder how this is going to play out because, I mean, like, what else could they do with American Horror Story? And now they making a full story in one episode type of deal, which is interesting. So I said, okay. So watching this first episode, I was excited because it still had that same vibe, like the way it looked, the music, and it was exciting to see Murder House again. I was happy to see that because I'm just like, all right. I kind of felt like how I felt when I watched Apocalypse a little bit when we revisit Murder House. I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. Back here. And then, we get the gay couple and, their daughter, Scarlett, and I'm like, okay, so we got this happy family, these gay couples, just whatever, and then Matt Bomer's in here, who I love, but I have some thoughts about this gay couple, especially in the second episode.
Yeah.
And I have beef with Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk or whatever how you say his last name, because we'll get there when we get to the second episode, but I just didn't like how they did certain things. And I'm not too sure if it was under the influence of the house, but how those characters were played in that episode kind of pissed me off. Yeah. But we'll get there. So this first episode, how did you guys feel about seeing some of seeing the rubber suit again? And were you guys interested in seeing how the rubber suit was going to come into play in this episode? Because they made a big deal about it in the advertisements and stuff like that. So I was wondering, all right, how's this rubber suit going to play a big part in this episode or two? Because from my last understanding, in Murder House, Tate was the rubber man.
Yeah,
So,
he was one of them. Yeah, because didn't at one point Zachary Quinto's character put it on too, or something? No,
But he's the one who brought it in the house.
yeah,
okay.
yeah. He was. So I thought, like, all right, the rubber suit is there. I was confused about the timeline. We were all. Same here.
I
We
think
were all the other ghosts.
I think all the ghosts were. Oh, go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say the psychiatrist mentioned that, not to jump ahead, she mentioned that she spoke to another therapist that was inside the house.
Yeah.
And we both know that was Ben.
Yeah,
Harmon.
Ben. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because he was the psychiatrist in the first season.
Right. But so it has to take place post, of course it takes place post, Murder House. But I think a lot of people probably forget that the events of Apocalypse by Mallory going back and killing
Michael.
what was his name? Michael. By killing Michael, it reset everything. So damn,
I did forget about that.
Yeah, so everything that happened post Murder House on Apocalypse didn't happen. Like why am I forgetting her name right now? The Queen, our Queen.
Which one?
Jessica Lange's character. Constance did not die. She didn't die. She didn't die. So she's not inside the house. And everything that happened post everything that happened in Apocalypse didn't happen. So this is probably the course correction or something like that to show that they weren't there.
But all right, so in that case, then obviously Ben is still there. So obviously they still died. So Vivian, Ben, Violet are still dead in that house.
Right.
So, and obviously Tate must be there then too. So, but
that goes back to your question. Where were they?
they just chilling, watching everything happen in the corner. They don't, they just I don't know. But my question is, all right, the Rubber Man. So again, going back to Tate, he was wearing the outfit. So you assume like, all right, it was him doing all the killings in the first one, which he was. But in this right here, they made it seem like the Rubber Man was his own entity, like it was his own demonic thing. Because every time Scarlet put on the thing, it's like she was kind of possessed. Even when she put the mask over, her eyes went black. So I'm like, all right, that probably is a thing. But why in the first season they made it seem like it was just a Tate thing? Like he just did it just to like kill, like he was just using it to scare people in the house and kill people and then rape Vivian while he was wearing that suit. So it was a little confusing to me. I'm not too sure if you guys can like answer that, but I don't know.
So what I was thinking just now, I wasn't thinking about this when I was watching, because you're actually right. Like maybe it's that since the suit was getting what it wanted because she was killing people, it didn't have to take the possession much further. It was just, there's something inside of her that is actually willing to give us, some bloodshed. And maybe and something else just occurred to me too, because her name was Scarlet, which is like red or whatever, and the original girl's name was Violet, and those are like separate ends of the color spectrum. And it's almost as if to suggest that they're actually kind of like complete opposites to one another or something.
They are. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking the same thing when I was looking at their characters, because I thought that these two episodes were a condensed version of the whole entire season of American Murder House. But it was on the tip that it reminds you of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. When Faith came into play, she represented the other spectrum of who Buffy could have been. And Violet, even though she was kind of self-destructive, her pain was always inflicted on herself. Scarlet, on the other hand, got off on inflicting pain on others. So she pretty much, like you said, Ryan, and like you said, Bobby, she had something that the house wanted. And see, I think that also the couple, whose names I cannot recall right now, but the gay couple, that her parents,
Michael and Troy
are the opposite of Vivian and Ben, because Vivian and Ben had issues when they came inside the house. So the house fed off of that. On the other tip, Ben and Michael and Troy got, like, I don't say possessed, but they got, their happiness was tainted by that house.
Yeah.
So it's a, you know what, bringing up this shit makes me think the episode was a little bit better than I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because even the first gay couple was Zachary Quinto in the first season. It was kind of like the same thing with him and his husband, and I feel like they were like this happy couple, and then all of a sudden they just started to, you know, they just remind me of those two characters because their relationship started to fail the longer they stayed in that house. But that's an interesting point, definitely, about like Violet and Scarlet. Like, you blew my mind with that one because I didn't think about that too much. I was just like, oh snap. And then especially with Scarlet, because she is a dark person, she has a dark soul, you can just tell. So the house is definitely going to feed off of that because they feed off of, you know, evil. And they kind of absorb and take away from anybody that's good, and they just kind of just, you know, just fuck up everybody's situation and that lives in the house. So what were you guys' predictions when y'all was getting into this episode? How you thought it was going to play out? Like, did you think it was going to play out as like her becoming like the official like rubber woman, staying in there, like killing people, becoming a ghost, or like what were you guys' thoughts?
That's it. What doesn't make sense? Medicine, which is about the house, so no one would ever come in again. Oh yeah, he's right. Madison did buy the house,
but everything in Apocalypse has been erased because when Mallory went back in time, to kill Michael, they had no reason to go to, because when Apocalypse ended, Michael was dead, Madison was still in hell.
Yep.
And everybody else was Queenie. She stopped Queenie from going to the Hotel Cortez. So everything is reset. So our girls in the coven of Miss Robichaud are fine. They're good.
Yeah, they're all alive and well.
Right.
Yeah, they're all alive and well. That's why I keep forgetting about that. So I keep forgetting that's what happened, where they kind of like went back in time and corrected everything, and Michael don't exist or anything anymore. Dropping in to say hello. Hey, Darkwave Doc. I always see you on Twitter. Hey, friend.
Cool pick.
Right.
Gotcha.
The funny thing is, though, like, I guess because the question that you originally asked was about the rubber suit, right?
Yeah, like how did you guys like? What were your predictions? Yeah, what were your predictions going into this episode of how you thought everything was going to play out within the rubber suit?
The funny thing is, I kind of felt like it was going to be the rubber suit was going to be masking I thought it was going to copy kind of like the same formula, like it's going to mask whoever the killer is, and then it's kind of like, okay, well, who's behind doing all this stuff? Is it actually like a ghost or a human or something? And then I assumed that by the time everything was over, everyone would actually be dead, and then maybe most of them wouldn't realize they were dead, because in the original, and I would hope they wouldn't do the exact same thing, but I thought that's what was going to happen, to be honest. And I even thought that, because I don't know if y'all remember or felt the same way in the original Murder House, but when it turned out that Violet had been dead, like it actually shocked me. It was
me too.
It shocked me too.
Same.
But I don't want to keep seeing that, so I'll give them extra points for subverting that a bit with the way that they ended it. I know we'll get there eventually, but I thought that's where it was going to go. Like, everybody's dead, everybody don't know they dead, and then Ben Willis is going to walk in, and you know, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
I was hoping it too, Ryan. I was hoping that somebody from the OG cast was gonna come up and be like, you know, welcome to the afterlife in the Murder House. You know what I'm saying? Something. Because I was waiting for that, but I was thinking, I think that this suit is like, I think the house takes whatever the previous inhabitants leave behind and does something with it, like the little red ball. You know what I'm saying? It's just like these little indicators to sit there and say, yeah, we're testing you to see how far you go into this. You know, it's like an invitation. Do you want to play? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so she put the thing on, because I was sitting there thinking to myself, first of all, I didn't like Scarlet.
I didn't care for her at first either.
Because I'm like, who in the fuck gonna go in a used house, find a rubber suit, and we see that you're not innocent in any means, but you're gonna just throw this suit on. You don't know who the last been inside of it. And I think the dad said that, like,
they said it.
You don't know who Suit's been in this, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you just gonna just throw this damn thing on because you just want to just see how it looked on you and everything. I'm like, girl, bye.
But what I will say
that,
though, wait, no, but what I will say, we're not going to discredit her too much because she did fill out that outfit and she did look
she
good.
did.
Yeah, her figure in there, I was like, yes, give me Catwoman tease.
Yes,
and that's my. I love you. Y'all know I love me some Michelle Pfeiffer. It's Selena Catwoman. That is the ultimate Catwoman to me outside of Earth. However, that's what made me think that the suit itself had become a part of the house because for her to put this suit on and not be baggy on her as it was because it's bald. And you know, Zachary Quinto was kind of tall, and I don't know how it fit tight, but it did. So it just seems like it's going to. It's like a cloak of some sort, like a magical cloak. It fits everybody to the T. And she did look good in it, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I love it.
Like some type of like personification of something. I can't place it, but I feel like there might be a hint in that conversation they were having in class about fear versus shame when they were talking about that. Because I thought that was pretty cool. Like the thing about Violet that I love, just generally speaking about her character arc, now that I'm thinking about it, is if you think about it, like literally everybody else in the house, they all have like these secrets or they're not being true to themselves. And even though she's a murderer and she has all these things going on with her, she actually is relatively true to herself for the most part. And even though she has like these desires, I mean, she was doing porn or whatever. She wasn't actually harming anybody. And she was pretty much staying to herself. And by the time it was all said and done, the people that she killed had did a wrong to her, and that's not the way to handle those situations per se. But at the same time, you find yourself rooting for her because it's like those bitches. Like, how dare you do this to us? And I don't know. It was something interesting about her character. I feel like there's a hint in it, like of what this rubber suit is. It's a manifestation of something.
Yeah, you're going to get into those girls too, Miss Paris Jackson and her friends.
But Ryan, that's the reason why I kind of was like angry with her because for her to be so intuitive like that, she should have picked up on the fact that everything that them girls was doing, and her friend said it like, you know, you're just too blinded by the fact that they are playing you and you just moved there and you have somebody who's telling you who's known this girl probably since like middle to like kindergarten. No, they playing you. Trust me, they playing you. You should have took home girls, you know. And no, I'm not. Granted, I'm the type of person who's like, let me suss out people myself. However, it's just that was just too good to be true. And she was talking about like the whole thing when they went to the party. I'm not trying to jump ahead, but when she went to the slumber party, and she was like, well, I got this costume for you. Come over, I got this outfit for you. And she took in the room. And she started doing all this stuff. I'm like, now, if you say yourself was closeted, don't your friends would sit there and be like, trying to wonder what the fuck is going on in this bedroom? We've been here entirely too long. I've been asking questions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But the thing, I mean, but that part right there, like I was thinking about that too. But you have to think like they're teenagers. Their friends probably already know her too. You know what I mean? So they're probably not going to do anything because those are her friends. And I was thinking like, all right, when I was a teenager, I did kind of, I'm not going to say I did wild things, and my mind wasn't always in the right places. So if I was Scarlett, I probably would have done the same thing because I'm trapped in this house with my two annoying gay fathers, and they telling me I can't go out. And I moved into this new area where I have a chance to meet new friends, and then this girl happened to like the same things I like as far as, you know, experimenting and things like that. As teenagers, some of us are gullible, and I will say I was that way too. So I felt for her just a little bit because she just wanted to fit in. She just wanted to hang with somebody that's like her. The only thing I really, really was questioning is like, all right, your friends is cutting up, but you're not. You're being don't worry about them. They're just like, And I'm just like, girl, if you're hanging with these people, then that means you must be acting that way as well at some point. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Like I felt for it. I understood it, but as an adult, now that I think about it, it's just like, girl, you're stupid. But I probably would have done the same thing as a kid. I'm not going to say she deserved what she got because that was messed up. You know what I mean? I will say Scarlett should have thought a little bit smarter when she came down to murdering them. She could have murdered them outside the house in the off the perimeter or something, not in the house. But I mean, I guess at that point she didn't know like the whole house's like thing, right? Like, because she didn't know at that time that if you die in that house that you're still staying there. But then again, the history of that house, because she was telling her fathers in the beginning, like, moving here, like, why you want to move in a place where people have been murdered? Oh, we don't believe in ghosts. So it's been very interesting.
I had an issue with like what you said, Bobby, with that, because I was like, when she came back and she told them, I'm gonna kill myself, and they were like, you're not serious, and she's like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna leave a note, because she brought up the Ruggers thing. Now that was smart, because I was like, yeah, y'all don't realize what y'all did was fraudulent. What y'all did was was a crime. And y'all going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like Peter Griffin, Meg, you're going to jail. My God. But I was just like, yeah, send the asses to jail. But when she said for them to come over, I was like, she's finna slice their asses up.
Yeah, she did.
But I was like you said, Bob, I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit here and stay with them though, because these bitches is crazy. So especially after you kill somebody, in American Horror Story lore, when somebody dies violently, they come back. It depends on how fucked up they was before.
Yeah,
they come back even like fucked up 10 times more, because they're angry. Like, I'm stuck here. Everybody gonna die that I can come across here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I gotta live this shit, you gonna live it too. So, and that's exactly what happened. But
they could have, when they came, or we get into it, because they didn't come back until the second episode. But they had so many opportunities to get Scarlet out of here, but they didn't. But we'll get there. But I don't know. Like, I'm going back to the gay fathers.
Okay.
What are you guys' overall thoughts about them? Like, how did you guys feel about them?
I didn't live.
Yeah.
I feel like it's necessary for horror features to make flawed characters. So I'm not going to get too down on the way that they wanted to represent them. But I would say mission accomplished, because I didn't really like them very much. And I feel like maybe that was the point. But it was obvious that Scarlett believed what a lot of us probably believe, which is that they should probably just be divorced. Like, she even said it. It's like, had they not, been in this situation, they'd probably be divorced by now.
Right.
But it almost feels like this house reminds you of certain foundations like that, whether it's like a relationship or a job or something, where, people hold on to something for a particular idea, right? And then the result, something in them does die, and the piece of them that goes on living is just a ghost of themselves. Like, that's kind of how, because every time I'm like watching American Horror Stories, and I didn't feel this way watching the first season. I don't know. I guess because I was so shell shocked by the first season, I wasn't worried about bamboozling shit. I was just getting my life. But this time around, it's like, okay, so it does feel like this feels like being at a job or something. Like, you die here and you go on living, but you're just a ghost of yourself or some shit. Like, it's some deep shit.
It's deep.
Yeah, it's very deep.
I like them, but as you move forward in the episode, you kind of start realizing their, tropes. Do you want to get fucked up on Xanax and binge watch The Queen? It was like, y'all just found a bloody
edibles.
Yeah.
Edibles. I mean, edibles. I mean,
edibles. I thought they said Xanax. They said Xanax and edibles.
Yeah.
See, it's not a problem with edibles, but it was just it's extreme. But so when she came back in the house, first of all, they found the bloody rubber man suit, and they just burned it. And I'm like,
oh, she probably got her lady thing or something. I'm like, what?
It's like, that's what made me think. I'm like, is this y'all's daughter? Is this y'all's biological daughter? Like,
right?
Y'all don't have any female friends whatsoever. It's not this. It's like, come on now. Like, they were clueless, but when she came back and she was like, Dad, and they were laid out, I was like, they probably had too much and just died. I really don't. I thought they was dead at the point, but but at the same time, I was like, that's how y'all handle shit. But I mean, I'm reading a book right now called The Velvet Rage, and they talk about how gay men.
I love that book. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But it's my friend gave it to me, and he was talking about how gay men usually go to destructive manners to handle, like to deal with shit. And I'm like, no, this is why we have 1-800 numbers and shit. Like, you know, your daughter is watching crazy ass porn.
Yeah.
And then you seeing all this shit, it just seems like it'll be indicator for you to just get out the house, be like, okay, something's going on here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I was just so it migrated from me being like, okay, I can vibe with them being a gay couple having a lesbian daughter. It was like, but it got to the point where it's like, okay, y'all can just throw out all the tropes, but we'll get to the rest of the tropes later because I have some more.
I just feel like they wanted to just be fun parents. Like they wanted to be the parents that's just like, all right, like we let you get away with certain things, like we're okay with certain things or whatever, but it's only certain things that we'll tolerate. Like when they found out that she was looking at like violent porn, they weren't having that, you know what I mean? And then they even put her on punishment like 1 or 2 times. They even gave her a pass the first time. They let her talk. She's like, I really want to go to this like sleepover or whatever. And they was like, all right, well, let you go. No, other parents were like, hell no, you're on punishment. But they gave her a chance because it's like, you're new here, you're making friends, and we're gonna let you do that. But then she fucked up again when she sliced her pop, and I'm just like, no,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
No, it's funny. My boyfriend was cracking up because he said that's a red flag right there. When after the whole situation, after she sliced him up when she was wearing the rubber suit, which I gagged at myself. I'm just like, hold up. And she was texting Michael Jackson's daughter.
Okay.
That really was Michael Jackson's daughter. That's Paris Jackson.
It's just how you refer to her as Michael Jackson's daughter, like that bitch.
I don't know her name on the show, so
Maya.
Oh, Maya.
I'm living.
I'm still saying Michael Jackson's daughter.
I know you are.
It's the shade in it, though. It's just the shade.
It's the shade for me.
It's the shade for me.
Oh Lord.
And when she said, I can't come because I accidentally stabbed my father, that's when my boyfriend was just like, yeah, that's a red flag. I don't know why like Maya is saying, oh, like that's hot, like why she's still tolerating that. Because if somebody texts that to me, I'd be like, oh no, bye, block. You stabbing 5 people by mistake. And she just said it just so, I don't know. You know how sometimes when you look at a text message and you kind of read it, and you could like you look at text messages, you perceive them in a different way. It came off like really like nonchalant, like you got to stab my father by accident. It's just like, no, that's something serious, girl.
Exactly. Oh my god, I'm so glad you pointed it out because Paris are blanking the shade.
It's Paris.
It's
Paris Jackson. She's in it. Because she's gorgeous though. She's so pretty.
She is
now.
It is, but I was like, that should have been a red flag on both their ends. Like, first of all, if somebody was like, oh, you just text about it, you stabbed your dad. Like, you should be like, oh, I didn't mean to text that. And for the girl to come back, that's hot. You should be like, okay, something's up here. It's just like, and so I know she's 16, but at some point you gotta be like.
But you have to think too, like she's into that type of stuff. She's into violence. You know what I mean? So when she said that, when Maya said that was hot, she was just like, oh, I'm finding somebody that I can vibe with that gets me because other people would be like, oh, hell no, something's wrong with you. But being as though that she said that's hot, she said, oh, she's like that type of stuff. I'm into that type of stuff. So I think that's what was attracted her even more. And Maya knew exactly what she was doing by probably putting that text message. So yeah, I mean, us normal people would respond that way, Mark, but they're not normal.
Yeah, she's really not normal. And I wanted to say something about, like, I was going to ask y'all a question. Am I the only person when I watch a horror movie or something and they start talking about when they have like a class session with teens and the teacher's teaching something? I'm talking about when it's one of those good horror movies with somebody that know what the fuck they're writing stuff. Did you pay attention to what the teachers talk about? Because you know it's going to come back into the story later on, like Halloween, on Elm Street.
I knew you was going to say that. Yeah.
No, it's just it always comes back. you know. So
yeah, that
so
is
what you
true.
talking about brains? I kept rewinding the thing back because for some reason my audio was very low for the episode. Like the commercials when they came on was very loud, but the audio for the episode was very low. So I had to turn my TV up and put the captions on to read what she was saying. She was talking about the brain and synapses and stuff like that. I'm like, it's gonna come back. That means that she has. We'll get to that because it kind of comes back in the second episode. Sorry. So.
Yes. Well, we pretty much talked about everything in the first episode. Did I miss anything? I mean, the only original ghost that came back from the original was one of the nurses. Oh no, that's in the second episode. Excuse me. In the first, the Infertada, and also the two little boys, the redhead boys that be thrown. Yeah, the twins. Ryan, why you?
I laughed because I thought y'all said Nelly Furtado.
Boy.
I was like, where was she at? And I'm okay.
Okay, Kathy Hilton. Well, who's Hunky Dory? But I was gonna mention
his step stool. We gonna respect Michael Jackson and his his children.
Yeah, I was gonna mention Marion Dugney, the psychiatrist, because when she said I'll let myself out, did y'all have a bad thought? I said, God damn it, she's gonna get killed because you don't go use her.
Yeah. So all right, first of all, I was pissed. That's another thing I was pissed about because first of all, you have to kill like the only like black person on here like right away, and I think technically she was the first person to die, and we already knew like all right. As soon as she said that she was had to use the bathroom, I'm like, she's dead. She's dead. I was hoping that they twisted up and kind of gave it like at least scared the shit out of her, and she like leaves out and never come back. But they actually kill her, and I'm like, you don't have to kill like the black lady, like.
Not first. I said the same damn thing, and y'all realize who she is, right? That's from Malcolm in the Middle, the little boy's mother.
I forgot all about
Alias.
That.
She was an Alias. She was
I didn't watch
Sydney's. Oh, she was Sydney's roommate in Alias for the first couple of seasons, and then her character got killed off because she discovered the spy shit and they killed her off, but then they had somebody come in and reconstruct her face to just like her.
Okay,
so she could infiltrate Sydney's life. Yeah.
That's not intense. That's a very intense storyline.
Yeah, that is very
it was because I was pissed they killed on it too. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers.
So she just like to get murdered. Okay. Kill me.
There's like okay, never mind.
Well, besides her, did we miss anything else? I think the first episode, that's what we got. She when she killed the girls, and when I see her fixing the wall and building like the bricks and stuff, I already knew exactly what she was doing, because it's like you're all of a sudden too happy and you're building like you're fixing the wall like how they wanted you to, and I knew that she put the bodies in there. I just knew that she put the bodies in there. So,
me too.
I'll hold it to the next episode, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, we pretty much talked about everything in the first episode. This second episode, let's get into this one. So, I was confused as hell in the very first episode. I mean, the first part of the second episode where she's in the tub with Scarlett's in the tub with that little girl.
Yeah, with Nelly Furtado.
Nelly. I'm like a bird, I wanna fly away.
I'm not. Wait, that's not Nelly Furtado. Isn't that Kareem Bailey Ray?
No,
that's Nelly Furtado.
Now she can change so quick between that and Man Eater. I was a promiscuous girl.
Yes, and Say Right. Come on, that album slaps.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was. That was a college. Oh, y'all was in high school? Yeah. I was in college.
That was high school for me.
That was college for me. That was a soundtrack of my sophomore year. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That was the soundtrack for my junior year.
I don't remember what it was. I just know that Nelly Furtado did this part in American Horror Story. So she did that.
No, you're not gonna. So anyway. Nelly Furtado is in the bathtub with Scarlett, and she's telling her life story about, what happened to her as a child with her parents, and they sent her off to her uncle, and it really wasn't her uncle. It was some random man that was harassing her and things like that, unfortunately. And then she also tells the story about her actually going into that house and killing herself. And she's a ghost there. So I'm like, all right, cool. So you just came out of nowhere. At this point, I don't know how long time has been, like how long this situation happened. When did y'all meet? Where did you come from? Like what's happening here? All of a sudden, y'all girlfriends. Like, I just didn't understand. They could at least went in the beginning of the episode 5 months later, 6 months later, or something. They didn't do that. And then it was getting on my nerves when we seen a lot of shots of her just walking through the hallway, just look, and I'm just like, okay, Nelly Furtado, like,
look at me.
Stop.
I have to agree though, like something about Ruby's storyline at the beginning, I mean, and just throughout, just didn't work. I mean, like that's the problem with the second episode, and I think we'll just go through it piece by piece. There are so many pieces that don't feel well thought out at all. They feel rushed because, like you said, like how did this happen? And even if I could suspend disbelief, the sad thing is Ruby's storyline as it started, like when she was telling the story what she went through, it actually was like, okay, I feel bad for her. But then the twist that it was some random man, it was almost like, how? And like, it was like, but I was like, I'll let it go. Like, but it just,
I would have felt more bad for her if that was actually her uncle rather than a stranger. I mean, that is messed up that her parents just like gave her to some stranger. That is messed up. But I think it would have been a little bit more like, it would have hit me a little bit more if that was like her uncle rather than some stranger. I mean, it's still messed up either way, but it's just wild.
It felt like Trauma Olympics. It was like, how can we make this
more? And that's my issue. That's when episode 2 and just went, the storyline just went off the rails for me, because I'm gonna be honest, in the preview, I thought there was, what's her name? From Murder House. The girl who Ben Harmon was sleeping with.
Oh,
Kate O'Mara. I thought it was her.
Yeah.
I thought it was her because the way she was, they you know, the quick shots and shit. Now looking at her now, you could tell that wasn't her. But I was like,
they do have similarities.
They do, right? Except that she's actually tall and Kate's kind of short.
She is.
So
yeah,
I was like,
they should have Kate. They should have bought Kate Mara back. I actually would have loved if they would have bought her back, at least for this episode, and maybe made her like Scarlett's like lesbian lover or something like that.
Right.
That would have been cool rather than, you know, her. I mean, she's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I love this. I like this character. She was a little extreme at most points, but if they would have bought Kate Mara's character back from the Murder House, I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if it was a connection between her and Scarlett.
Because it would have made more sense for them to connect, because Kate O'Mara's character has been there, and she would have to have that like what they call it, dialogue, vomit of just like her whole backstory in the tub.
Oh yeah,
and then just like trying to explain where she came from. Because I was like, wait a minute, if y'all have gave me two little small scenes of her seeing the girl in the backyard or something like that, and just being interested in her, but like, I'm not interested in you now because I have big fish to fry at the school. Pun not intended. So I was like, you know, but something, it was just so, it was like, so we supposed to believe that y'all like clicked all of a sudden. And then the other thing that bothered me, and I'll probably get some flack for this, but it just, I think it's a trope, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. It's just, I'm always seeing like,
I think I know what you're about to say.
lesbians, they're always, they become women who become lesbians out of trauma and not out of just because that's what you've been done shitty and dirty by men and all your life. So now you finna just go to the first tender thing that takes you in or something like that. It's just like, so both of them are born from trauma. And it's like, okay, so we just can understand each other. So I was like, I guess Ruby was like a female Tate. And it was just too convenient for Scarlett's character for her to find her Tate. But it was just,
that's what it reminded me of.
Right. It was just a thrown in thing.
Violet and Tate, and then Scarlett and Ruby, that's like, they have so many similarities together, because with Ruby, she was not pressuring, but she was kind of just like keep telling Scarlet, "Oh, you should kill yourself. You can be together forever." That's what that's what Tate was doing with Violet, and even when she was just overprotective like Tate as well. Like when those four bitches came back from the dead and tried to attack Scarlet, she was overprotective of her because obviously I guess that's her living girlfriend. So I mean, like I get it, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna jump into that part because it just triggered something. So you just got Ruby, this one person with this damn switchblade, and then you got these four girls.
Yeah.
You and all this, y'all scared of her, like y'all. She's trying to defend Scarlet from them killing her, and she's like, "I will cut your face off for like 1,000 years." And it's like, y'all could jump her, you know that, right? Ghosts or not, y'all could get her out of here. So why y'all so scared of her? It didn't make any sense.
Paris Jackson was ready. You heard she said, "What she got on you? What she got on you?" And they show her getting her face cut off. But like, baby, we weren't there when it happened. But just know that we can fuck her ass up right now. But I think that not Maya, but Ruby thought that she was top shit. That's why I was like, wait, where's Violet and Tate? Like, where are they at? Where's Kate O'Mara? So I sit there tell the girl, baby, you are fresh meat. You are on the bottom of the food chain here. You're still learning you're still earning your stripes around here. You need to calm down. I had a woman say, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. You don't have no power here. Like, no. Where's Vivian when you need her to come in with the motherly advice and shit? You know,
right. So. They hide and they're like, we're staying out of this. This does have nothing to do with us. It doesn't concern us. We're gonna sit. They're probably in the back corner eating popcorn, watching all this shit play off. Because I mean, what else you gonna do as ghosts? I would do the same thing. I would sit here and watch all this drama unfold.
Can you?
I see y'all in the afterlife.
I kind of feel like.
No, go ahead, Ryan. Because I'll just.
No. I kind of feel like with Scarlet and Ruby though, like. Kind of like, although Ruby was kind of questionable, like there were certain things that I didn't really understand. At least they gave like an opportunity for this message to come through that I think was kind of positive. Of like, if you like how it ended up like resolving and stuff. Like if you love something, it is healthy to just let it go so that it can actually kind of, you know, like the Heather Headley song, child. You know, in my mind, the little thing she say, whatever, like all of that. But and I also think it's kind of cool, like to Mark's point, how like they're both kind of, I don't know, it's hard to say this, but it's like they're both like red, like different colors of red, so they're similar but not the same. Like they're both born of trauma, but it's like they're both kind of like supplemental to one another. And there were things that I think for their relationship after I suspended disbelief on the things that didn't make sense that actually worked. Like for example, with the four girls, like you said. Didn't make sense. Like, I don't care if you can't kill me. What do you have against me? Like, if there's four of us and then there's one of you, I'm about to jump you. Like, you're not going to do anything. You can peel my face off, but your girlfriend's going to be dead now. So
that's the problem right there. Like, that's what I love about her American Horror Story, though. It's like I love that every Halloween they're allowed to roam the streets and stuff. They had plenty of opportunities at the Halloween party to get Scarlet out of here. You know what I mean? But they didn't. Even though the other girl was chasing after Scarlet and then she got distracted because I think she seen her brother. But where with the other girls? Was three of them fighting Ruby and we just didn't see it? Like, I want to see them jump her. And we're like, I don't know. It just there was plenty of opportunities to, and then even when they got back from the party and then like they were about to go back into the house and then they caught Scarlet, you know, before going into the house and they were about to get her right there. And then Scarlet had that little deal like, all right, I'll just leave. I'm like, what? No, you killed me. No, you're not leaving. You're gonna stay here like us. What's wrong with you? Like that pissed me off. So y'all just gonna let her go. She's just gonna leave and that's it. Y'all just gonna let her go scot-free. Like, no, I'm slitting your throat right here on these steps.
Bobby, I'm gonna take it one step further. Because me and you had this conversation before. The damn girl's brother came back with them. And she was like, I'll see you next Halloween. He was like, do you want me to tell mom and dad about what's happened here? And she said, no, just have them keep one. No, that bitch killed you? She's dead. She's dead because let somebody sit to put their hands on my sister. My sister been missing for this damn long. And you finna tell me I gotta come to this haunted ass house to see my sister every goddamn day that I want to see her. And I gotta wait till Halloween every year to see my sister at my, and I can't tell my parents, bitch, you are good as dead. There's no like
right here. Like, we're both alive, so I'm getting you out of here in front of this house right here. As a matter of fact, let's take it across the street because I don't want you to come back. So
like I've been like Paris Jackson. I'm gonna take your damn love away from you, bitch, because you don't deserve you. And then there was a sitting like she's like, I'm so sorry, you guys. I killed you guys, and I just have to do this. No, you got to die. That's why I was like, where is, like Tad Dawson said, where's Mora? Somebody that would have been like at that party, been like, yo, we gotta stop. We don't want you nowhere in the murder house. Yeah. We already got enough motherfucking residents as it is. You finna sit here and constantly keep burying bodies and shit. No, we finna take care of you right now. It didn't have to be the 4 mean girls. It could have been somebody else in the murder house. Be like, how they say it, like, don't come to Atlanta, we're booked. We don't need no more residents in the murder house. We're booked, so we're gonna take your ass out. You're a problem. Like something.
Something
that made me mad, Bobby. I was like,
no, me too. I'm just like, you're not gonna let her get away like this. But I don't know. I don't understand how they let it happen. Let's answer this question. Where was more the housekeeper? Well, in Apocalypse, she was set free. Her soul was set free. They found her bones because that
didn't happen.
Well, it happened in Apocalypse, and then all of a sudden it disappeared, like it went away. But
she got out because of she had to have Madison move.
Look, this is confusing. So what's the point of showing that then?
I agree with you.
No, that happened. I don't care what nobody say, because what's the point of even showing that on Apocalypse?
I agree. No, Bobby, I agree with you. That was one of the things about Apocalypse that pissed me entirely off. I said you gave the one ghost in all of Murder House who had the most damn misery because she was killed because of some other motherfucker's infidelity. And they so they tore down that damn thing and put her bones in the cemetery with her mom. And you mean to tell me they gonna sit there take that? I said, out of all the shit that happened to Murder House, in Apocalypse, the reunion with the reunion with Tate and Violet, Maura getting her happy ending, all this shit. I know y'all was trying to course correct shit, but y'all forget that little tidbit. I'd have been okay. I would have been perfectly fine if all the shit that happened to Murder House and Apocalypse had been just left alone. Like Constance still being there. And I guess they said this. Brian Murphy probably told Jessica Lange, well, I have this other idea. She said, you know what? You better fix this shit because I am not coming back to do this damn role again. I'm done.
To be honest, she needs to, because I think she's one of the key things that's missing from this show. And then also, she ain't doing shit else. I don't see Jessica Lange doing anything else. Bring your ass back to American Horror Story, because I miss you. Me and my best friend call her Grandma. Grandma, bring your ass back.
That's
it's not. You know how we call people our aunties, like auntie, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, no, she's grandma.
The timeline is a nightmare, like Tad said, and
it is.
I don't know if y'all feel the same way I'm about to say, but to be for real, it just feels like they had too much shit going on. Like it just was too many things. Like y'all had too many hens in the. I don't know what the saying is.
It was fine until they went in the Apocalypse and try, like what Mark said. They went the Apocalypse, and then they was trying to course correct stuff, and then they kind of went back on it. Now that you go back on it, it kind of makes everything more confusing. You should have left it how it was, and I feel like the timeline would have been fine because everything did so. Because I think everything connected very well with each other until Apocalypse, when they went back in time, and then I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and watch Apocalypse, and maybe I missed some things. I don't know, but it is a nightmare now.
But even with this episode, like, in addition to how nightmarish the timeline is, like, even if you look at this episode in a vacuum, like, that's why there's so many things that just don't make sense, because it's like you have too many things going on. Like, even where you talked about how the 4 girls had all these opportunities to get old girl out of the game, like when Halloween rolled around, like outside the house, y'all pulled up in cloaks and shit. It's like, why did y'all get a costume moment going? Y'all need to just get her out of here. Like, it's probably too many pieces.
But probably because they had the clothes on. I'm agreeing with y'all about this whole too much in the what they call it, dick in the soup, too much going on. But they had to have the cloaks on because everybody would have recognized them if they showed up. Bitch, where you been? Where have I been looking for you? Oh my God. Let me call your mama right quick. She's here. She's here. She's fine. And then they drive home, and then her ass to be disappeared the next morning, and then it'd be just like all types of, you know what they should have did.
You don't want that as a ghost. You don't want that. Like, all right, I was tragically murdered in his house. Like, I would want my family to know.
That's what they should have. Y'all, that's where I thought the girls were going to go. Y'all don't have to kill this bitch. Just sit there, find somebody, take them back to the house, explain the shit that's going on in the house. We dead. We upstairs in this damn little chimney like thing up there. Yeah. Y'all will find us. Don't come alone. Come with the police force. But then again, they probably slaughtered on top of all them ghosts up there. They probably slaughtered everybody that came. Because
they did mention that. I forgot who said it, but somebody on here said there's over 100 and something ghosts in that house. And I'm like, that's crowded as fuck in there. And
that's a joke. That's the joke I was gonna say earlier. Like, can you just get off of me, please? Can you just get off of me?
Get off of me! Stop hovering! Stop breathing on my neck!
I do not need to see you sucking your husband's dick again in here, ma'am.
Right.
I'm just saying, but you know, it's just too much going on in their house that we don't know nothing about.
It is.
But I would have told somebody, yo, look, we're dead. She did it. Go and arrest her.
But you didn't even have to wait till Halloween. When the detectives were in the house, I don't understand why the ghost didn't say,
show up like that.
I don't get it. Like, I was very frustrated. Like, that's why y'all don't even write so much stuff into this. I felt like the first episode had like a lot of good stuff going on. And then when you come to the second episode, Ruby popping up was like, then y'all being afraid of her was like, and then y'all not getting old girl out of the game was like, it was too much. It was too much.
Yeah, it was a lot. Before we go, I want to talk about the problem I have with the gay men on here. So I feel like with these characters in this episode in particular, I feel like, why do they always make these characters? And somebody tweeted this the other day and I liked it and responded to it. Why do they make a gay couple always have to resort into infidelity in their marriages in that type of way? And I was like, all right, cool. This did happen with Vivian and Ben, but they had this problem prior to moving into that house.
Right.
Yeah. But then when they showed the gay couples in Murder House with Zachary Quinto, I'm not too sure if they had a problem before moving into that house, but I guess they insinuated they did. I'm not too sure. But with this couple, it just seemed like they were like this happy, perfect couple. And then all of a sudden, the dude with the bad dye job, it's like giving the dude, like the other dude, head, and then all of a sudden they got these problems in his marriage. So I was like, all right, maybe it's something with the house that's making them do this or making them feel this way. But then as some of this stuff going on, you realize that they're dead when that was happening. Like the whole part when the I guess I forgot the dude name that he was sucking him off, and when he got hit in the head or whatever, and then they were being scared by the ghost and all the other stuff, and they were trying to leave. The whole Violet effect from the first season, they were trying to escape, and they realized, oh, well, we can't leave the house. That's when you know they're dead. So they must have been dead for a while and didn't realize it. But why do they always have to resort into like cheating and infidelity? Why is it always these same tropes with these gay characters in Ryan Murphy stuff? It's kind of annoying. Like,
I have some thoughts, but you can go ahead, Mark, because when I start.
Now, I will also say it just seems that Ryan Murphy, it kind of reminds me of that tweet that that Cardi B sent out. They got all the white tweets because it was just like, y'all hear about the tweet she sent out?
No, get me the tea.
They said they said something about Cardi B she said, you white twinks on this app are weird. Y'all, everything doesn't bend y'all's way or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And the apps and the profiles are having fun with. They're saying like, you know, Cardi B got folks running like, got the white twinks running like, oh my god, like they like white twinks becoming barbs now because they because Cardi B called them out. But it just seems like that's that's like a trope with like, you know, open relationships and stuff, and it's like all that's not necessary. I was looking to watch it myself. I was like, does that really go on in each episode?
All right. Well, it's been amazing.
And then this was stupid. And here's the sad part about that situation. Dude was like, you're the first guy I sat here and let, you know, do this to me because I just got a divorce with a wife. And I'm like, so y'all just easily go and just let any dude boom. But you know, Tad, a lot of people think that there's a lot of people who just have issues with Ryan Murphy. And it was like, I didn't know that. And I just think that he needs to look inside himself and figure out why that's an issue, because it didn't have to happen that way. It could have been something else, but
they were fine in the beginning, right? Like, even though they were like too like jolly and stuff, but that's fine. They seemed like they were happy. You know, all of a sudden in the second episode, oh, I'm seeing ghosts, and the other husband was like, oh, you're crazy. You just want to like you. It was just like, and I get it. You wanted them to feel like the house is taking over their lives, but you could have done that in a different way. You didn't have to bring in like the whole infidelity situation in it, because then it's like, all right, kind of going back to what you said. I think Ryan Murphy might have some issues. Ryan's face.
I'm just waiting. Go ahead. I'm ready to open up the hell mouth. I'm ready to open up the hell mouth.
Open it. Let's go. Let me cut some blood and boom, there it goes. It's open.
I agree with y'all. I really, really do. Like, y'all wrote these characters, Michael and Troy, like they were very progressive. And that felt like that's where it was going to go. So if they're going to be progressive, then the writers, and Ryan Murphy, if he's has a hand in this, I don't know how much of this he was in control of. They need to stop thinking about gay relationships from a heteronormative lens, and they need to actually be sex positive. It's okay to express a relationship in ways that are not heteronormative. You can actually have a very similar storyline without making gay men look like sleazy people. They can actually just have an open arrangement. They could actually have something that's different from what's typical, and then it wouldn't look like all the tropes or trying to make all the gay guys look like they just want to sleep with the maybe he's straight guy. That's just a tired ass trope. And even them doing all these damn drugs and stuff. It's like,
but to be honest, I'm gonna stop you right there. A lot of I don't want to offend anybody, and Mark knew where I'm going, but people not like to use. Go ahead. Though.
Okay, maybe. But still, like y'all get
some of this too, but just
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. That's the hell mouth has been closed. That's all I had to say. Look, all right.
Ted Dawson said, "Amen."
Bobby White.
And you know what? I'm not like judging anybody, because like do whatever you want to do to get off and make yourself happy, or you and your partner happy, as long as you're safe. Because I don't want to judge anybody. You know what I mean? Like do whatever you want to do. I'm not gonna lie. Back in the day, I didn't do drugs or anything like in that aspect or whatever, but I was curious about some things. You know what I mean? I felt like we all probably were when we were at a certain age. But I mean, in this couple, that's what they like to do. And you know, that's how they have fine sex and live day to day with each other. Then let them do that. Some people do that in real life, but it's just, I mean, again, you got Ryan Murphy here. He probably surrounded with friends that do that type of stuff. So he's just writing in his experiences in there. He probably do it himself. He's telling his truth, and that's fine. That's okay. But what you're not going to do is keep giving us these tired ass tropes, like you said, and think we're going to keep being okay with it. It's just like, come on. And then why is it always this like, I don't want to bring race into this. I'm just stop. But why? We're gonna move on.
You and this town has been killing me all night. I'm
sweating. I'm not doing it to be shady. I'm hot.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I thought it was the same thing too. Like,
but it's been killing me all night. It's just, I thought it was shade. I thought it was a shade too, but I'm here for it.
All right, we're gonna act like I'm not sweating, and I've been doing it for
I'm sweating. I'm sweating too, but I don't have a towel. You know, I'm inspired to go get a towel next time we do this.
Look, I refuse to look like that Lady Gaga photo where she's like sweating.
Don't do mother like that. Do not do mother like that.
You know that's my girl, but I refuse to look like that
And
photo.
I know exactly what photo he's talking about because I was like,
too.
who just sat this? Somebody just done it all on her face. I'm sorry.
Maybe she has some Xanax.
Mark, this is a PG 13 channel. I mean,
okay, I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
I'm sorry.
Joking.
I know.
Well, do you guys have any other thoughts? Did I miss anything else? Oh yeah, like the ending. So pretty much the ending. Obviously the fathers are dead. They're okay with Scarlett just moving out. There's lack of emotion there. But hold on. Chad said something. If my husband was sneaking, he would have anything to
There you go. There you go.
I know that's right.
There you go.
That is crazy. But it just felt like they had lack of emotion of like Scarlett. This is your daughter, even though y'all dead, but like she's now like by herself. She had to like fend for herself in the world. Like, y'all okay with that? Like, I don't know. It just seemed everything was kind of rushed, and I understand it. This is like an episode. We're not going to probably see this again, but I don't know. They just need to write characters a little bit better or tell stories just a little bit more better. But I guess I don't know. I just was unhappy with that, and then everybody just eating breakfast together, and then she's like, I'm like, all right, cool. It's kind of reminiscent to the first season, the season finale, how they had Christmas and they had new clothes. Where the fuck y'all get those clothes from? I don't know, but cool. And American Horror Story for you. I guess you're a ghost. You can do whatever you want. They went Christmas shopping. Maybe you're allowed to go out in the world too on Christmas. Halloween and Christmas is only allowed. But yeah, like that ending, I was just kind of unsatisfied. The only part I did get my life on is when she had that nice slip back in the car and she took off her jacket and she had that rubber suit on and then she strut out, put her mask on, and then just stab Bull. And I was just like, yes. I just love her in that. I just love her in that suit. Right. She looks so hot.
And I was like, the suit got out the house. That was the only thing that survived the damn house was the suit.
Right. And I was talking to my best friend about this earlier. I'm like, all right, so the suit is out the house. So is it going to magically appear? Because we forgot to mention in the first episode, they burnt the suit, they threw the suit out, and it still kept coming back. So they messed up if the suit somehow come back in the future. Because go ahead.
No, I was or they probably the ghost probably said, just take it, honey. We'll concoct another one. We'll concoct another one. Just take the suit. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
just
gonna
be
make
our
a whole
agent of chaos. Right. Be our agent of chaos out there in the world.
All I know is when we revisit Murder House, because I know we will, I better not see this damn suit again. She took it. The only time I better see the suit is when she's wearing it, because there's no way the suit can reappear. There's no way. Love you guys. I needed to smile today. Thank you. I subscribe and love share. Can't wait to see you all again. Oh, thank you. Make sure you check out Mark podcast, Midnight Social Distortion, and also Brother Ghoulish's Tomb, Brian's podcast. They're both great. Check them out. I promise you'll love it.
Oh, thanks, Bobby.
No, of course.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't like when I was finished with these episodes, I just didn't know how I felt. Like I like it. It's okay. You know what it is? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's fine. It's okay. Like I love some of the little callbacks that they had to Murder House. That was cute. I was happy to see Murder House again. I love the music choices in there that they had in the episode, especially in the second one. His Werewolf. That was my shit.
Yes.
But I don't know. I wonder what they're going to do with the other episodes, because I did see a tweet that Ryan Murphy put out. Oh, somebody else put a tweet that they said that he said that we're going to get some of our favorite characters from Murder House come back in the season finale of the season. So I'm curious to know who's going to be there. I do know Tate is going to be there because I did see some leaked pictures of him in that same outfit. So I do know Tate is coming back. Joshua, hey,
what's up?
He be on Twitter. I'm not too sure if you guys follow him, but he's a good dude. Also a nice author.
Oh, nice.
I gotta get his book Scratches. But I don't know. How did you guys feel about these two episodes overall? Like, how did you leave after watching? Because I just said it's fine, and my boyfriend just rolled his eyes and said, "Okay, I guess I'll watch." But so, what was your reaction? I feel like Ryan, you already gave it to me the way you're just looking at me right now. So he just
I feel like because it's very that, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I like the first episode of it, like the first piece. Second piece, not so much, but towards the end, I appreciated why they introduced some of the elements. I won't say all of them, but like I said, I do feel like they had a message in mind. I do. Like, I feel like they were trying to show that, like, when you love something, it is healthy not to try to hold on to something. You just have to let things go. And I think that that's a cool message. I do. And then I also like that they subverted it a bit, like I said, because I thought everybody was just going to die. I really did. I genuinely thought no one was going to make it out alive. So they surprised me with that. The preponderance of it was ridiculous because she shouldn't have survived under any circumstances. Let's just call it what it is. The writing needed to be tightened up, especially on that second piece. The same elements that work in longer fiction does not work in shorter fiction. You have to really understand your medium. Like, that's some real shit. Then I lost myself for a second. No, but I got a little mad. But like seeing her, like you said, with the slick back hair and getting revenge on the uncle was also good. And it was also seeing the fruits of loving something and letting it go on and flourish. So that's pretty cool. You do get a killer who is a woman. You do have all of these other really bold elements that they're doing. So I thought overall it was ambitious and it was worth the ride, but choices in some certain places. Choices. And I would say there was one other thing I had to say. I can't remember, but if it comes back to me, I'll say it. But like that's how I feel.
Yeah, and I agree with Joshua. Didn't 2 episodes, but like typical Ryan Murphy. It is typical Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any theories about One by Sand and One by Sea? That's the double feature that we're getting next month. You didn't know about that? Yeah. So it's going to be One by Land, One by Sea. I'm hoping that the sea one is Sirens that people have been screaming about for a long time. I want to see Sirens. That's my theory. I think that we're going to get these sea creatures that's going to come on land and just start messing things up. And the land one, I think we're going to officially get our Alien season that's going to tie into Asylum because people have been talking about that forever because Asylum, it was just very there and then disappear. And everybody was like, well, what about the aliens? So I really think that the sea is going to be about the Sirens, and then it's going to somehow connect to the whole alien situation on land. That's just my theory. Do you guys have any theories?
I believe that too, because I know they casted. They said that some of the top stars are going to be playing like political figures, and I'm like, that makes sense for them to play political figures if it's connected to aliens, because that's when like the whole alien. That's around the same. I think the political figures they're playing were in office around the time that the alien sightings were going on, like when Asylum was going on and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that's the case. But as for the by the sea, I'm thinking it's Sirens too, or some aspect of the Sirens. I'm liking how they're keeping everything close to the chest.
Yeah.
Although I do miss the promos, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all, the American Horror Story promos that came out every year.
They used to slap.
Yeah.
Especially the first up until season 5.
Yes,
because they were like little teeny music videos. You know what I mean? It was pretty dope. Especially, I think they started doing a music video thing around like Freak Show and Hotel, which I loved. And 3, you just see these quick clips, and I can never forget that part where you see, the witch is going up the step and Coven.
Yes.
And then you take the mask off, and you got Angela, Kathy, and Jessica. I got my entire life. You guys don't understand. I literally yelled because seeing these 3 iconic queens together, and then we get a witch season. Like, come on. Yes. Ryan, don't roll your eyes.
No, I didn't.
I'm joking.
I'm joking.
I was I was working at the library when that damn teaser dropped, and I had to run into the other back room and just start screaming like. My man came in, what's wrong with you? I said, you won't get it. You won't get it. Boy. Yeah. And then when Gaga came in for Hotel, and they were
we talked about that.
Yeah.
I was at work when that one came out, and I stepped outside literally to watch that like little part. Well, when she was first revealed to be in that season, when she had the mask and she uncovered it and she just said Hotel, I went off because Monster.
Yeah. Right,
American Horror Story. So of course, and then when we got that little short of like just the characters coming up, and then that song "Bury Me" is playing, and you just see all this stuff happening. I was just like, I love this. I play the song to this day because that's how much I love it.
Me too. I have American Horror Stories playlist. I'm gonna send to you that has every teaser song ever used. I'm gonna send.
I got up to. I don't got all of them. I only got from Coven, Freak Show, and Hotel. I don't got like from the other ones, but because trust me, Mark, I was on it. I love the music. The number one thing I walked away from these episodes with is that AHS is 10 years old. God, I'm old, and the writing has only gotten worse. You know what? And that is crazy, unfortunately, because I remember the first time, like I watched this the first season on premiere date. Like I was so hyped, and I think that's why I love Murder House so much, because I never seen anything like it my first watch, and it was so weird because you had all these crazy things happening, but it wasn't like you didn't understand. It kept you wanting to keep watching over and over again. So to see where it was at and where it's at now, I mean, I can't speak too much because we haven't seen double feature, but I'm hoping really double feature really like give us something dope. Y'all had a whole year off to write something thoroughly. Give us, nothing rushed. Y'all had a whole year, actually more than a year, to get stuff together. And I really hope that double feature delivers. It gives us the same feel as the first season, and even Asylum. Because to be honest, I really miss a dark and bleak season of American Horror Story. Like, I don't think we got that in a while. Like, the last time I think we got that was Asylum, and maybe even a little bit of Roanoke. But no. Roanoke, I actually laughed at some parts that I shouldn't be laughing at. But you know what? It was Sarah Paulson. You know what it was? All right. It was Sarah Paulson, and it.
I already know what scene you're talking about.
I'm dying. Which one? No, it was multiple scenes. There was a lot.
But
there was
like she said, "I'm not from America. I'm not using this bloody carnage."
That whole character, her whole British character, gave me so much life. Y'all don't understand. Like her character in that second part of Roanoke, it literally gave me so much life. Like she was so funny. She said so many quotes in there that like I should have written them down because they were so hilarious. And they're all her screaming and like it was just a lot. Like Roanoke, a lot of people give Roanoke a hard time, but I actually enjoyed that season.
I did too. I think that's when they try to do something different outside of the norm, and people didn't take well to it. I'm like, what can they do that makes y'all happy? So I was glad they gave us pretty much 3 seasons in one. They gave us 3 different stories in one. It just went all overall thing.
And that's what I was fine with.
Right. I'm gonna ask you, Bobby, you too, Ryan, knowing now that Sarah Paulson hated doing Roanoke, did you think most of this screaming and all that came from like her just being like frustrated?
Yeah. You know what? It's real. I think she did the most screaming in that season than any other season, and it was so I don't know. It's just I'm disappointed that she don't like that season because it was actually a fun season to me. Like it was some legit scary scenes in there. I liked what they did where they had like the fake, the documentary thing, and then they went back and you had the real monsters come out. And these are not characters that we've seen before. Like these ghosts are just like, they look really scary. They look terrifying. So Roanoke, I liked a lot. I enjoyed it. People give it so much. They give it a hard time. I totally forgot about Apocalypse. Yeah, y'all need to go back to Apocalypse. I need to go back to Apocalypse too, because clearly I forgot something. So
It's okay.
I like Roanoke too. Such a fun. Yes, Roanoke is fun. People forget how fun the season is. I want everybody that's watching this or going to watch this later to go back and give Roanoke another chance because it's really a good season. Y'all just being picky.
Wait, can y'all see that this is the
yes,
fun?
that is my favorite.
These two right here. These two right here.
Them two together. Oh my god.
It was a whole move. Every week I tuned in, it was screaming in my bedroom, laughing at their asses because they was giving it everything.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Y'all make me want to rewatch it now. It was such a good time.
It was.
Roanoke is one of my favorite seasons. Thank you. It is a good season. Every time I speak to Ash on From Kill the Dead, she hates that. I'm like, girl, you need to rewatch it. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I can't get hit with, and I tried again, is Colt. Yes. Said he mentioned the only season I didn't like was Colt. It hits too close, and that's the reason. I'm not saying that season was horrible. It was too soon to do something like that.
Colt scared the fuck out of me. Out of all the American Horror Story seasons, it scared the fuck out of me because it hit too close. Yeah, because it was just a enhanced version of these Trumpers. It was just an enhanced version. They're clowns.
Yeah,
and when they killed that one lady in the scene, she said nobody's gonna believe this, and then the guy he was like, of course they'll believe it, it's on Facebook, and that scared the shit out of me. And ever since, I have not been on Facebook since then, because that was the main problem with a lot of people on Facebook. They believe everything that I got tired of telling people this is fake, this is fake, this is fake. How the hell do you know? Are you a doctor? Motherfucker, I don't have it don't make no damn sense. Just do your research. So it scared me. It scared me. It scared me.
Yeah. Colt is scary. Colt is scary, I'm not gonna lie. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like it, is because it hits too close to home. And that season was like torture, like porn too. Like, I think the scene that everybody didn't really care for too much because they went far is when they were doing a nail gun into that guy, and then it was like using a nail gun in his head and his face and stuff. That was extreme. That even made me uncomfortable. I don't like seeing stuff like that. So it was a bit much. The only thing I really liked about Cult that I enjoyed was that they filmed in the same area that they filmed Halloween. Like the houses and stuff. And they did some callbacks to Halloween. I was just like, of course, my favorite movie.
I feel like Cult was okay. I mean, the thing is, though, the first two seasons were, like, for me, like king when it comes to American Horror Story. And the issue that he tends to have with, like, the seasons that come after it, for me, is that they sometimes kind of sag in the middle, and then the endings may not be as tight. And I think that American Horror Stories, it kind of continued that problem. Like, it just it was just kind of like they were just trying to cook with too much, when in reality, all they had to do was just maybe bring back some of the ghosts, marry the old and the new, and then just stay with some of the themes that they were actually trying to go through and deal with.
Right. I think the last episode of Murder House could have been an episode of American Horror Stories. Just give us a family that moved into the house. You don't have to just try to build this whole big ass mythology and shit, you know. Right. That's why I was telling a friend the other day, I would leave this as my final thought for these two episodes. They probably was trying to bring in old audience members who probably didn't want to stick for a whole entire season. And they was like, well, we're going to give them, Murder House stuff. But it was like, y'all gave us Murder House Light. And I felt like that was a bad choice. However, I told somebody, because somebody on Twitter was like, I heard the American Horror Stories is real bad. I said that I liked the first episode, and the first two episodes are connected. The second episode I didn't like that well, but I'm not going to hold that against the entire series, because this is an anthology series. Each episode is supposed to be different. So I'm waiting for what they bring next week. To me, next week is really going to be the season premiere for me, because this was just like a fan service episode.
Yeah. I felt the same exact way. To be honest, I feel like they should have just made this episode just one episode. I don't think they need all this, and I really feel like they need to talk to the people that do like real anthologies, because they could have did so much with Murder House and still made it just one simple scary episode. But then again, I don't want to speak too soon because we haven't seen the rest of the episodes where they're going to bring us something different. So I'm just going to eat my own, shit right now and just say, I'm gonna take it back. I shouldn't have said that because I don't know how the other episode's going to play out. But I do hope they just stop with all like the jumbo shit in their episodes because y'all want to do so much and sometimes it just doesn't play out right. And I'm happy that you said like you defended American Horror Story, and American Horror Story is how people hold like a bad season or even these episodes against a whole series because they're different every time. You don't know what you're going to get. Like I know so many people that said they stopped watching American Horror Story in general just because they didn't like a season. And I'm just like, well, they're all different. You know what I mean? One season might not be for you, but the next one might. Give it a chance. And I am on that same, I do feel the same way where American Horror Story does starts off very strong in the beginning. And then it just takes a nosedive all the way at the end because it seems like they try to rush stuff and fix things up. The only time I really feel like they did the endings justice was Murder House. I was okay with that ending. They gave them a happy ending as Ghost. Fine. Asylum. Roanoke. And I mean Colt, but like I'm not talking about that. But like Coven, I had problems with. I think I told you guys about this too, about Madison's death. Like I felt like that was rushed because she's a witch and how she got killed off didn't really make any sense. Freak Show, that's a whole rant on its own.
Listen.
I love the aesthetic of Freak Show and I love certain things about it, but again, that's a whole nother episode. Hotel, love that season to death. I hope that
love you, Bobby.
I love it to death, but the last episode of that too, I just felt like it was rushed how they killed off Gaga character. There just a lot of things didn't make sense, and then of course we talked about Apocalypse. So I just want them to get it right, and I'm saying this again. I'm really hoping with this new series and also double feature that since they had time to work on things and write things, that they start to get things right and give the fans what they want. Because I feel like they're not really listening to fans. They're not listening to fans until like much later. We didn't get, people wanted like a Coven, another spinoff for Coven for a while. And to be honest, I love Coven. I understand why it's popular, but it's not like my favorite season. It's good, it's funny, it's campy. And I think that's why a lot of people like it because you got all that star power. It's campy, it's funny, it's not really scary. But for us horror fans, like hardcore horror fans, it's like we want to see that horror shit. We want to see like some fucked up bleak stuff. And Ryan, you said this before too with Murder House and Asylum. You said you really suggest that people start with those because, and I agree with you. I really feel like people should start with those first two seasons because those first two seasons hit home. Like they went there, and they were dark. They were just like really effed up. So I really want them to get the American Horror Stories right for the rest of the episodes and the new one that's about to come out next month. So
right.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. I'm excited about next episode. I do know some returning people are coming back. I did hear about Billy Lord coming back. She's playing a different character. Yeah.
I love her.
And a few, so do I. And Ryan, I wanted you to get this reference. Remember, I sent you that email before I got on your podcast, and I gave you that Ghostbusters reference in the beginning where I said the whole Zool thing. And I was hoping that you got it from Ghostbusters, but also American Horror Story 1984, which I didn't mention. But remember the part in 84 when she was like, "I'm not." What was her name on there? "I'm not such and such. I am Zool." And I started Montana. There's only Zool. I started cracking up. I said, "Why she have to go there?"
I did catch it, and I was definitely laughing when you paused. And the funny thing is, I took a note to bring you in as Zool, and then when we started, it slipped my mind too.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I'm not to get sidetracked, but 1984 was like everything that I wanted. But we could talk about deep into that later on some other time. So that was just everything.
You like 1984? That's surprising to me.
No, I loved it because it took the slasher trope and made it very gay. And but we get into that after the fact.
Okay.
I talk about I love 1984.
I'm gonna say this about 1984. I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun. I think that was a season that they didn't know what to do. They were not ideas, so they just like, we're just gonna do this, pay homage to a whole bunch of slashers. We're gonna set it in the 80s and just have fun with it. Because it wasn't really nothing scary about 1984 at all. It was just a bunch of funny moments. And I enjoyed it up until the end. So it was just
the end was rushed. I'll give you that.
That's a
I will say that I was glad that we had a black survivor in there, though, but we'll get to that later. I can talk about that all day long.
Yeah. I forgot Miss Candy.
I think it's time for them to maybe, I don't know, like bring some new writers in. I don't know if they're already doing that.
They do. Okay. They do need to bring some new writers. I mean, I agree with you. They do need to bring some new writers in.
Okay. I'm gonna say, because they bring it in. If they bring in new people, they clones or something, because it's definitely much the same.
I would like for Ryan Murphy to do this one thing: produce a spin-off series called African American Horror Stories, and
no,
you don't want it?
No, I don't want it, because I feel like it's going to go the route of them, and we already know that backlash. Well, you don't want that again, Mark.
No, we don't want that. I'm just saying, get some people who are not gonna do some shit like that. But I don't. You know what? Okay. I was just saying.
The problem is, they're going to go there. They're going to go there, because the first thing and the only way that will work is if they get African American people, like writers, and actually do something outside it. But I feel like it's always going to go back to like racism and slavery and stuff like that. And we just need to stay like just.
No, I get you. And see, and we'll talk about that later on. But I get where you're coming from this standpoint.
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from this standpoint, because I'm like, y'all, I like to see black horror. It don't have to always go back to there, but I guess some people would feel like we can't go back in the past without but you can tell a good like 1956 horror story and not have any white person in it and just be like you. My mom, I'm just gonna say this right quick. My mom would have horror stories about them staying in the country in a one like shack house, all 8 of them, having to go outside to go get some water to bring back inside the house. She would always scare the shit out of me as a kid. And I was thinking, like, we have stuff like that to talk about. They'll be great. We don't have to always go to like, but Master up the street here did this and everything like this. So
yeah, I agree. I just like, my only fear is that I feel like it's just always gonna go there, and I just don't want people to always go there. Like, it's fine if you do every once in a while and it's done tastefully, but it's just like, it's been done so much now. Especially with like, again, them, that was like the biggest one, and like, I'm not gonna say them was horrible. I did enjoy some things about it, but like we said this over and over, huh?
I was agreeing with you. You just want this backlash.
But we were saying this over and over again, and Ryan, you said this countless times too. Like, we can be superheroes, we can be the final person, we can be werewolves, we can be vampires, we can be all this stuff without race being involved. So I would love to see that for an African American horror story without it being too, but and I mean, I get it. Our history is hard, and we get it. But let's see things on the other side as well too, just to see what we're like in that world. So
there's a lot of ambitious. Let's see what Taz says first. I wish you would go back and do an episode by episode review of Lovecraft Country.
We already get you, Bobby.
Bobby, if you do,
Bobby,
I will come back. I will be here.
Well, no, I was just saying, it's funny. Yeah, we already did. Well, we already. All right,
no, I'm saying if we're going to do it again. I thought Tab was saying
everything though.
I confused myself. I thought Tab was saying you should do it again. Never mind. I confused myself.
I wouldn't mind doing it again, but it's just like we're gonna be repeating ourselves unless we got different adults. But Tab, come back tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're gonna be talking about Lovecraft Country live here. We're gonna talk about our favorite episodes, our frustrations of it being canceled. We're just gonna have a good time talking about Lovecraft Country, and I want you to come in for that because I want to know about your favorite episodes and favorite moments in the show. So come back tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're all going to be here. We're going to be talking about it. It's going to be a good time. So I'm so happy that you said that. But if you want to go back and look at the not American Horror Story. If you want to go back and look at the Lovecraft Country episodes, they're still there from season, from episode 1 to 10. So yeah, that was a fun time.
It was, man. That was
And that's why I decided to do this again with American Horror Stories, because have fun with it. All right. Well, we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes. So I learned so much. We did too while watching it. We learned a lot. We learned
some stuff we didn't want to learn, but you know,
yeah, some stuff you didn't want to learn, but you know, we were force fed. Yeah. So, but thanks for everybody that's been watching this. We're going to end this now. We've been here for an hour and 30 minutes talking about, you know, these 2 episodes.
These 2.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm not going to hate on it completely. But next Friday, if you guys are down, you guys are busy next Friday, right? They got something going on next Friday. Do y'all?
Just me,
I think so.
Mark. But that's like not at the same time.
Are you sure?
Let me check my calendar. I swear, I'd have built so much stuff this month.
Because I want to do a weekly thing at the same time on the same day each week to talk about these episodes. And I feel like Fridays is good because the episode came out a day before, so I feel like it would be a good time to do it the day after, give people the time to watch it.
Right.
And it's Friday. Why not? Now I feel like drinks are required.
I'm free before we can do it before we do your thing, Ryan. We can just seg over to your thing afterwards. Yeah.
But what time is your thing? Because I don't want to get involved. Like I don't want to mess anything up.
It's supposed to be 8:30, but what, Mark? If you're down, I could just scooch it back if you want.
I'm off that day. So whatever time you get, we're fine. We're fine.
Okay. Because
how about I just move my? How about we just do it on? Are y'all okay with just doing it on a Saturday or Sunday?
No.
Maybe instead.
We'll massage it. We got all the people together, the 3 of us, so we're gonna figure this out. Trust me. We could probably do it at the same time. I kind of get what Mark is saying. We can do it at the same time.
Yeah, we fine.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Okay, I just don't want to mess anything up. You already had plans. It was nice seeing you again, Bobby. It was nice meeting you, fellas. Oh, thanks, Katie. Katie's been great. She's a rider. I love her. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see.
Oh, you said rider. You said rider or writer?
Rider.
Oh, okay.
Not writer. Writer.
Okay.
But I said rider, like Rough Riders. Now y'all making me have problems with my speech. I don't got time. I'm about to end this broadcast. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, because Ryan, you trying. All right, bye, everybody. I'll see you guys next Friday, and we're going to talk about American Horror Story episode 3. And I'm excited about this one. Hopefully, we get the one with are you making fun? I do this all the time.
No. That was me personally, and I'm a little tipsy, so I was trying to make sure I had 3 fingers.
You know what? I'm fighting all of y'all. Let's end this right now. Behind the scenes. Thanks, Ted, for coming by. I really appreciate you. Come by next Friday. See you tomorrow if you're down for the Lovecraft Country discussion. And if you want to talk with us live as well, I can send you the link to come up on screen, and you can share your love and favorite moments as well on the screen. So make sure you come by tomorrow for the Lovecraft Country thing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to say that again. All right, guys, we're leaving. Bye. Thanks again, everybody, for coming. We'll see you next Friday at the same time at 8:30 to talk about American Horror Stories episode 3. Bye.
No, my people scare me.
Where my people at?
Bye.